Okay, today we're going to try to do something which may be interesting, maybe more than the house construction. We're going to talk about Balikbayan boxes. You see, here's what they call the small box. Look at it from the other side. It's about half the size of the bigger box. Let's see here. I got a gimbal, but I don't know how stable it's going to be with me jumping around. Width is 18. Length, 23 and a half. Height is 9. And those are inside dimensions. 18, 23 and a half, and 9. Now the big box is 27 and a half long. $17 3/4 wide. Looks like 16 3/4 deep. Okay, on with the program. Okay, we're going to talk about several things. One, where you can send it to. Now, the paperwork, up until last year's shipment, you had a list of value on the items that you put in it. You have an itemized list you make out. That's a bill of lading. And it had to be shipped to a relative in the Philippines. The original intent of this was for returning people, not so much expats, but people returning home, being overseas foreign workers, and we're sending stuff back to their family. Last year they didn't ask for the evaluation on the items. I don't know about anything else, but the bill of lading looked just the same. Weight. In 2014, if you could put it in the box, you could ship it. Now, that doesn't mean you can ship absolutely anything. You can't ship high-performance parts for a car engine, per se. I can't ship a couple of sport bike engines, used sport bike engines I could build something out of in the Philippines. You can't ship firearms. A firearm is anything that functions through expanding gases. It will get you in the slammer. Now, expats can have a gun in their house for the last 2 years. It takes a little special paperwork, as does everything in the Philippines. Always paperwork. But you can't carry it outside. You can't have concealed carry or none of that. It's self-protection in your house. Anyway, the weight limit, I've not ever seen any official paperwork giving you a limit. But they used to be anything I could put in the box. And the place we go to, those people are actually from the next town to where we stay. So they know all the people in the town, and apparently they got some complaints that our boxes were heavy. And they were. Some of them were 175 pounds. So the third year, he was really griping. And we took a couple boxes, and he tried to turn them over and said, "Oh, God, these are heavy. They're too heavy." He says, "Don't bring any more like this." So we decided that we would set a 100-pound weight limit, and we both agreed on it. The next time I went, I had boxes were like 93 pounds and 95 pounds. Same complaint. I said, well, give me a number. I'll work to the number. Just tell me what number you want. And he wouldn't give me an actual figure. So I says, I'll tell you what, we're going to make it 75 pounds now. And I'll just use a few more boxes. You know, it just doesn't make any difference to me, whatever you want. Turns out, you tape this box, they're going to tape it again. They're going to put their red logo tape on all the seams. So he has to flip it over about five flips to get it back right side up after he does all his tapes. Takes five flips. And if when he goes to turn it one time, he pulls up on it and it doesn't come off the floor, then to him it's heavy. I was going by what the box weighed. And what it come down to is the center of gravity of heavy stuff needs to be balanced out through the box. It needs to be what we in engineering we call it the centroid of the thing, like the dead center of the box. Now this box here, this is our example box, and it shows a few things. Let's see if I can get this camera to go down. Son of a gun, it's going to work. This box here, on top it's expired. Well, actually, some of it's not expired. They changed my blood pressure medicine, so I donate this to the clinic in the Philippines, and they hand it out to anybody who needs it or who can use it. But the basic thing in this box is drywall screws. I needed some weight in another box, so I wrapped some handfuls of these in Walmart bags and put them in the other box. So this box had a space. Another thing is they don't want this box to rattle or shake or stuff move around in it. So now I could have cut the sides of these flaps down and folded it over into a flatter box. But what I did was I just put alternate stuff in that was light. So we have a heavy thing here on the left end. In the middle, we have another heavy item. That's 12 pounds. The one in the middle is 12 pounds. The one on the under here, this is 11 pounds. This is coupling nuts for threaded rod. I'm going to make some chairs to do self-leveling compound on a floor. And to order coupling nuts in the Philippines, I have to go to Haro. General Trias is the other name for it. Robinson's Place Mall is there. There's two bolt places, Bolt Depot and Cowayland. But you go once, they tell you they haven't got it, and they order it. Then you go back, and it may not be there. Then you go back the second time, it will be there. So you're looking at 3 tricycle trips that are, they pretty much screw up a day to go out that far. It's almost to Manila. You're in the Metro Manila area when you're there. So I just got those heavy things, and I balanced this box left to right by the screws on one end, the couplings on the other end. This 15-pound thing in the middle is really large air stones for aquaponics. Next thing, you don't want something here that can shift on the sides and bulge the box out, because you're going to have to close this box up with no bulging in any direction. Now this box has got every bit of capacity used for stuff except for about a ½ inch on the top. And we're going to put something up there like handfuls of Walmart bags we use for to set out our garbage over there. Or maybe some packing material. Over here you see this mound of debris right in the bedroom. And what this is any cardboard box we've received in the last year, we throw it in here. And also the packing material that come with it. So if we need packing material, all we do is just look down here and get something off the top. Or if you need to reinforce the box for something that might be heavy and sharp, like a little piece of steel, you can add some layers of cardboard so you don't punch holes through your box. In any event, let's see here. I won't be able to see what it sees if I go around there. I need to see what I'm doing. If you know how to do this, this camera will change from front to back. But not today. Let me try to pause it and change. It won't pause either. Okay. I can't get it to change position. We're going to have to take a guess. I'm going to set this thing on the tripod, and we're going to try to do something here. And if this doesn't work, I guess we'll just have to start over. Okay. Now, to take the pressure off of this closing of this box, we're going to tape up the flaps on this this box that was open. Otherwise, it's liable to shift the stuff that's inside of it and cause us problems. Okay. Now, we have to fill up basically to the top of the box here. Let's see, we got some packing material. And maybe another little piece. Okay. Box flap. Down. Down. Okay, the first two box flaps, they fit. I can actually push them lower than level, so that's a good thing. Now we're going to try to get another box flap up underneath it here. And you can see that didn't work. Okay. Okay, I got the flaps pretty much I got slight pressure on them, not a lot. I think that'll be fine. I need some weight. It's anything to hold it down. Next is going to be our little trick here. I made this up when we were having trouble getting the boxes closed. For one thing, this rig works much better on the floor, where I can get a little bit of leverage on it. Okay, I'm expecting now that my center flaps need shifted left to right. Also, they need knocked in for the end seal. If you don't overstuff your boxes, you don't need anything to close them. But I generally have trouble because I put everything I can in the thing. This box closer was made for the bigger box, which is a 1/2 inch narrower. And turns out it was close enough to fit this size box. So we just used it, didn't make another one. I can also loosen the screws on these door hinges and make it fit this size and do other things as well. I'll move the camera down so you can see what this gizmo looks like as soon as I get enough stuff to take it off. Okay, we're at the point now where these flaps are touching down the middle. They look like there's about a 1/16 gap, but that's because they're tilted up. Because my press here is made for a 1/2 inch wider box. If it's down on the floor, I can raise it up and get down on this pole a little lower, and then it works. Let's see, let's just take that off. Okay. Well, let me just describe the taping for a second. Now, when it's still laying on the floor, you can, you have it upside down, and you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strips of tape across the bottom and down what will be the sides. You don't go clear around the box. You don't have to put anything on the top, just the 3 sides. You do that sideways, and you do it end to end. So you will put 10 pieces of tape on. Usually we put a tape on that lower corner seam before we do the end to end ones. See, the other ones, well, I think my wife will come back and seal all those things with tape. But LBC is going to tape this box when they get it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tapes now. I'm going to add 3 more. Be one in the middle. These ends here that are hanging out like 3/8 of an inch, you just tap them, they go right in. Once you got the top down, you can knock them right in. But as you can see from the boxes on the floor, everywhere, if I quit knocking stuff down, we've got 2, 4, 5. We got 5 big boxes here. We've been boxing stuff up while we've been trapped in the U.S. One more big box up there, ready to go. We haven't taped it yet. They come flat. The first time you go there is to get boxes and meet and greet. And we told them we needed 7 big and 2 small boxes. So they says, "You're going to ship a lot of stuff." I said, "Well, we're building a house, and anything that we have to spend all day to go after, or we don't know where to get it, or we can't get a brand that we want, we just bought it here. I like to support the Philippines, and we do on a lot of things. But the biggest thing we're going to do is we're going to hire labor and give people a job and feed them. So if I buy a few things, I'll just buy them. Anyway, he gave us the boxes. After you take your first set of boxes in, they'll ask you how many you want because they know you're a customer. We could take these boxes to any LBC shipper in where we go is Norfolk. Could have gone to Goldsboro, a few other places. It's same distance, but we just like these people. They're from our area of the Philippines. Okay. Next thing we need to know. I got a piece of paper here, and we're going to look at that. What this paper has on it is box 9B. B because we started over again at 1. But if I have 2 boxes, number 1, I go to open them up, I won't know which number 1 I'm opening. So we're on B. We shipped 6 of the just 1 through 6, and then we started with 1 again, but 1B. And that includes all these big boxes in here and the ones that's in the hall. And now it includes this one we just packed up. What is in this box, left-hand column is the weight of what the item is. And the total weight on this box, 52 pounds. It has drywall, I always read it. Drywall screws. 5 sets of children's pajamas, 1 box of aquarium air stones, 1 electronic pH tester, 50 threaded rodic connectors, half-by-13 thread, 2 infrared thermometers, 2 sets of ice spikes. Those are for walking on ice, but they clamp around any kind of shoes. And that's so I can have spikes on the shoes for the self-leveling compound, because you walk right in this liquid concrete or epoxy. If you do it on an epoxy floor, you'd use them the same way. Lisinopril blood pressure packages, 15 of those. Spike rollers, that's the no handle. Spike rollers, that's the thing that you roll back and forth again on leveling compound or epoxy, takes the air bubbles out. So we'll keep this thing until we fill out, well, we're going to keep it anyway, but we'll use that to fill out our bill of lading. This is the bill of lading for number 8. Box number 8. And it has a list of all the stuff. It has the name and address of the person you're sending it to. And you'll notice that the Aurora Ryle and Catalina Ryle, that's her cousin. So she catches them when they get there. And her phone number will be at the bottom. So if anybody wants to check, they dial that phone number and ask them who's there, and she'll answer. It's just a waiver down here that you're shipping at your own risk if you send electronics and all that kind of stuff. They're going to run these boxes through a giant x-ray machine while they're still in the container. They park a container on a platform and back the forklift away, and they look at everything in there. What they're not looking for what you have in your Balikbayan box. They're looking for somebody, like when China sent in more than the import quota of rice, and they loaded whole containers full of sacks of rice, and then labeled them machine parts or whatever. They shut the port down for about 12 months, 1.5 million containers. And they took the people that make the license plates and assign them to vehicles, and that's what they use for labor, because there's a shortage of government labor over there. They can't afford to pay anybody. And so I didn't get my license plate for the motorcycle for 3 years after I bought it. I got it 9 days before we left to come back here. Okay, next item that you need a scale. This is a bathroom scale. I weigh right here. I weigh more up at the shipping place, but this scale corresponds to one at the doctor office right down the street, so I think it's pretty close to right. When you're using this scale or a postal scale, digital postal scale is even better because you can zero that. Well, you zero this, you just turn a hand wheel down here at the bottom. It'll zero. You have an error of a small percentage error. So if you can stack a bunch of stuff, like on this list here, I have infrared thermometers, ice spikes, 6 pairs of socks, and 15 blood pressure things. I weigh all that stuff at the same time. I get one number. And some of this other stuff was done, 2 at a time. Sometimes I don't have to have the weight. So what I do, sometimes I'll put 2 or 3 things there and break the weight down for all of them, just divided by 2. All I need to know is the total in the box. Anyway, you need a scale. You need a Philippine address to ship it to. It's a relative. You're supposed to have a Filipino involved. Usually your husband or wife's a Filipino, because that's how you get to use Balikbayan. You can't use this shipping service to send over food for poor people or whatever that you don't know. You can only send cash from, we use Western Union. We tried Walmart's MoneyGram, which was cheaper. But after we sent 3 checks for payroll for our crew, they cut us off and didn't tell us that they hadn't sent the money. So we were a day from payroll, and the money hadn't got there to the place, and we hadn't checked with them. And they said they thought we had to check and see if we were laundering money. So that's how that went. Okay. Let's see, well, what you can put in it, where you send it to, how you tape it. The boxes have to be neat. You'll notice that our boxes are nice and square and right on size. No, it doesn't look like a chipmunk in the fold carrying walnuts. No bulges anywhere. And you say, well, why is that important? Well, they're going to put these in a container, and that container's internal dimensions fit these boxes if they're stacked in the right geometric pattern, with probably not an inch to spare over the whole size of the container. If you get 3 people that send a box bulged an inch, they can't close the doors. When you first take your first Balikbayan boxes to the place, carry a spare roll of tape. We get this Intellect tape from eBay. It's about $4.35 a roll. It does 2 boxes. The way we tape them, it does 2 boxes. Most people would get 3 or 4 boxes out of a roll, but we have plenty of tape. You see, you can't hardly read some of the writing on the addresses because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 pieces of tape across there. Well, that's excessive. Well, this video, I was hoping this would be a 10-minute video, which people would actually watch. And I'm trying to crack 100 views on a video, which we've never done. We have some videos with 1 view. And I got a guy that actually leaves us comments. Hello, Steve. So I know he's the one. He's the only one who's watched that video. Okay. So we're going to cut this off. What you need to know is the size of the box, how much weight you can put in it. It's not defined, but your shipper will bulk after about 75 pounds. That's an item. I have 75-pound limit on this big box. They tell me the reason is because they haven't got power tailgates or forklifts or anything like that to deliver these things. When they come off with the the port transport to the local LBC office, they have a power tailgate they can raise up or down and get the stuff off the big truck. But the delivery truck is the size of our Ford Escape minivan. And people have to pick this thing out of that small truck and carry it up onto the porch. They're willing to carry it in the house, but I figured it's enough abuse to have them just get it to the porch. So we give them a 2-liter bottle of cold soda and something to eat and some snacks or whatever, and a bonus. We don't give enough to insult them, but we give them enough to they're appreciated. Probably about a half a day's pay each to them, and I think that's what I think it's the right thing to do. They're rationally these heavy boxes are bringing right to your door. That's worth something to me. So I put the same weight in the big box as the little box. They have a smaller box. It's about 1/8. I think it's 2/3 of a cubic foot or something like that. I don't know what it is in meters. But if you're a little overweight or short or something like that, and you have that roll of tape, you can take the heaviest thing out of your the box that you got, if it'll fit in that 1-foot box, and just chuck it in there, send it to the same place. It's a minimal amount. Oh, that's another thing. When you take a big box, most of the year, and we're hoping that around now is one of those times of the year, if you send a big box, a little box on the same container, the little box goes for half price. So we ship so much that they give us that half price deal on just about every time we go up there. But I know it's only technically during a certain time of the year. But I guess we're valued customers. Okay, weight, destination. Make sure you pack it where stuff can't slide down the sides and double up. If you have heavy things stacked edge to edge, and they slip sideways and fall down, they're going to bulge your box out. You can't get it back. You have to open the tape up and redo it, because they won't accept it if it's all bulged out in any direction, or if the ends are stuck out past the top flaps. And you saw this box. It's physically about all you can put in it. And the stuff that I have yet to go, I got another one of those spiked rollers here. That's this. I got some, these are ATV masks with goggles, and we can put our filter in there and the goggles. So we got a couple of those. We have my wife's extra underwear she got for next year. Some more spike rollers. Q-tips. Shampoo. The rest of the coupling nuts. And then there's this little bits of this and that. And I have the fan blade hubs for our whole house fan. I want to do some drill work on that before I box them up. So we got at least one more big box. She's got it out. Okay. That's the end of this. And remember, the world's in a pandemic. We need to say a prayer for those poor people. Okay, now we're going to try to shut this off.